Hi, it's Chef Rick, and today I'm making beef stew and dumplings. First thing we're going to do for this is get some roasted garlic. So you're going to take a whole bulb of garlic like this and remove the papery outside layer, but keep all the garlic cloves intact. A little bit fiddly this bit, but yeah, it's important to get as much off as you can. And then you're just going to chop enough off the top to show a little bit of the garlic. So you can see that first one, there was a few of the cloves there still hidden. So just chop down a little bit more so you can just see the tops of the garlic like that. So yeah, over 3/4 of it is still there. Olive oil. Just rub some olive oil into the top. And now you're just going to sort of, not carefully, but loosely wrap them in tin foil. So all the top's covered, you just wrap them around like that. Keep the bottom loose, you don't need to wrap them all the way around. And then I just put them in these like muffin trays. So that just keeps them all neater, makes it a lot easier to work with. They go into an oven at 200 degrees for around about 35 minutes. These are cold now, I've let them cool. Obviously don't handle them when they first come out, I've let these stop. But if you take them out, this is what you're going to be greeted with. Absolutely gorgeous smell, really beautiful looking, super soft. Like I say, we're only going to use one for this recipe, but if you've roasted a garlic, the whole house smells amazing, you'll want to use it. Take the cloves out like that if you want to kind of put them on toast with a little bit of butter, or just use them as an ingredient. You can see how easily they break apart, there's kind of smush like that. So if you just want to take the whole clove, squeeze it all out, you're going to get the, there you go, roasted garlic. Carrots, 2 large carrots, peel them. And then when they're peeled, you're just going to chop off the top and the tail. So you're just going to chop off a little bit from the top, a little bit from the bottom, and then chop the carrots up into roughly 1-inch chunks. Don't forget, we're making a stew, so it's going to be cooking all day this. So you want nice big chunks, otherwise they're just going to turn to mush. So you get your nice big chunks of carrot there. Any of the bigger ones as well, just chop those in half so they're all a bit around about the same size, about 1 inch by 1 inch. Go, so there's your carrots. Celery, 3 sticks of celery, just remove the bottom part there, so where they connect to the root. And again, chop those into roughly 1-inch pieces. So that's your celery. Leeks, again, just going to chop off around about 1 inch from the base of them. Just like before, just nice big chunks. And go as far into the green as you as you like, really. I would probably get rid of those bits or use those for stocks or sauces. But there's your chopped up leek and shallots. So with these shallots, all quantities of course down in the description below. We are going to chop off the top and the bottom. So remember, normally we say go through the root like that, but these ones we're actually going to remove that. So once you've removed that root, these are going to kind of start making you cry a little bit like onions. So just bear with it, be brave. Remove the skins. A little bit fiddly on these shallots. But there you go, so you're going to have your shallots fully chopped and halved. Again, they're around about the same chunk size as the other veg that we've got. So now onto low to medium heat. We'll put our casserole dish. Big casserole dish like this, biggest you've got. Some olive oil, or any oil will do. And here's our meat. So we're using obviously a stewing steak. It's a pre-diced stewing steak. So we're going to put on some plain flour, some salt, and some black pepper. This is really just to coat the meat, so quantities, just put like some flour in there. You can always add more, and anything that's left at the bottom obviously you're not going to use, but you want this to just coat all of that meat. So give it a good mix around with your hands. If you don't like using your hands, get some gloves. If you don't want to do that, then just use a wooden spoon. And now we're just going to brown off this meat. So you're going to put this into the bottom of that hot pan. We just want it to brown off on the outside. This is going to start catching and sticking to the bottom. That's a good thing. Don't worry at all. And we're not looking to cook this all the way through. Like I say, we're just looking to get some of those outside nice and browned. And again, all that stuff that's sticking to the bottom, that's not a bad thing in the slightest. So you see your meat there, it's just getting, the outside's got a kind of a sear to it. Do it in batches, of course, because you've got, you want the meat to actually be touching the bottom of the pan, which is where the heat is. And then just repeat the steps that you've just done there. So a bit more oil, a bit more meat. Do that until all of your meat is browned. Just whilst you're watching me do this, like I always say in these videos, if you like them and want to see more, if you can hit subscribe, it really means a lot to me. If you want to put like as well, thank you so much in advance if you choose to do that. Really appreciate every single subscriber. Red wine, massive plug of red wine. This is called deglazing. So that pan stayed really nice and hot, and all that lovely kind of meat and oil and seasoning that was down on the bottom of the pan. Let that red wine bubble away on top of there. So you're going to put your vegetables in there, the leeks, the carrot, the celery and the shallots. Just give that a little mix around. Every time you're mixing at this point, try and kind of drag the spoon across the bottom of the pan as well and get some of that lovely, you know, the stuff that's caught on the bottom there, mixing in. In goes your meat. The rest of the bottle of red wine. A pan this size and obviously this much meat for this many people, a bottle of red wine is fine there. It's going to be cooking down all day, so the alcohol is going to be boiling off there, so don't worry about it. The whole family can have this one. Give it a good mix round. Again, this is stayed on a medium to high heat. See, it's just bubbling away now nicely. As I always say in these videos, of course, the smell is going to tell you everything at this point. You can smell it's going fantastically. In with the roasted garlic. Give that a good mix round. And beef stock. These are just no stock pots. Again, quantities in the description below. Just pour that in there. One last good little mix round, because in a minute you're going to put the lid on. Going to put it in the oven, and you're going to go out for a nice walk or do something, you know, because you can leave this for probably left this for about 3 to 4 hours, so it goes into a low oven. Dumplings, so an all-purpose flour, suet pastry, salt, and cold tap water. We're going to put 4 tablespoons of cold tap water in there, and it's going to need another one in a minute. So you can see as I go around there, you can see it's just not quite binding. You can always add more water, you can't take it out, so it's better to do it this way around. So ultimately let's have 5 tablespoons of cold water in there. Mix that round until it forms a really stiff dough. Okay, so we're going to take this stew out. It's been in the oven for about 3.5 hours at this point. Of course, smelling amazing. It's reduced down now. You want to take that meat out and just check it with the back of the spoon. Is it breaking apart? But still has obviously the texture to it. You don't want it to just be complete mush. Floured hands. Roll out each of these dumpling balls. Now you just place those dumplings in the top of the stew, and then we're going to put them back into the oven with the lid on for around about 20 minutes. And that's what you're going to be dealing with. So that is your beef stew and dumplings. You'll be serving this, well, it depends. I'm only in a family of 3, so obviously they will eat this over the next couple of days. When you do it over the next couple of days, just put fresh dumplings in the top when you reheat it. So there's some mustard mash, beef stew, all of the lovely gravy that comes off that, some lovely green beans, a little bit of parsley on the top, just to make it look nice. And there you go. Super easy, super hearty, perfect on a cold Sunday after a nice walk. Soft, fluffy dumplings, beautiful meat, a gravy that just gets richer and more delicious the more you cook it. Just beautiful, absolute comfort food, super, super easy. Thank you very, very much for watching the video. I appreciate every single viewer. And